Hey guys, welcome to Talk Time Anime. My name is Jordan and we are reviewing Time Paradox Ghostwriter Chapter 9. Now this is the first manga review we've done on this channel, and the first manga review for me. I've never done a manga review, like even on past channels that I tried in the past, like random ones I tried as a kid and things like that. Most of the time it was like Let's Plays, all the craze back then, things like that. But yeah, it's my first time, so looking forward to it. This is what we plan to do more of. Most of them will hopefully be like group ones with the rest of the cast from the channel. If you haven't met them, we have a video up on the channel of our first podcast, a philosophical podcast. There you can meet the other members, Emon, Luca, and Lou, who are all massive anime fans. And in that video we introduce ourselves, talk about some of our favourite series and things like that. So yeah, please check it out if you can. Because this is my first manga review, I wish I could have started this from chapter 1, but I thought I'd start from the latest chapter, but I would like to say some of my opinions on the series so far. So, when it started off, I really thought this series was going to be it felt kind of standard. I think average is a harsh word, but I thought, this is a decent concept, but I didn't think it would develop too much. I thought it'd be like a short story, which still might be quite short, I don't know, but from chapter 1 I thought, this is okay, but I'm not too sure how it's gonna hold up to the other series that are running in Jump at the moment. But I kept at it because I haven't read anything like it in a while. I'm a big fan of the Bakuman series, if anyone's read that. Incredible series, so underrated, by Sugumi Oba and Takashi Obata. The creators of Death Note. It's basically a manga about creating manga, so kind of like this, but without the kind of supernatural elements of it. But still, it kind of got me on that, and also I really love the art. Who's the story by Kenju Ichima and the art by Date. I'm going to say Date because I'm not even going to attempt the first name, unfortunately. I don't want to butcher it too bad, but Date, his art so far has been incredible. But my opinions of the series started to change around chapter 5 as I really got into the characters. I really liked them. I thought they were very unique. But again, it was still it kind of reached I thought it was decent, not bad, But the real turning point, and I'm sure a lot of people probably this is the turning point for them when they might get hooked on it, even further down the line, was chapter 7, the plot twist of Aino. I think that's how you pronounce the name, A-I-N-O, Aino. The toaster, the microwave, foretelling the manga that she is in fact dead in 10 years' time, and she never finished White Knight. That whole my reaction. I wish I got that on camera because I'm reading it on my phone, and as I'm scrolling, it's like one page at a time, and just that one page of just the page from the manga from the Jump Book magazine, where it's just we're unfortunate to say of Aino's passing, that hit me. I had to drop my phone for a second. I was like, whoa, step back. I was like, where is the series going? A bit like Sasaki's reaction to it. It was a bit crazy. But yeah, and then after that, I am now hooked, and I really want to know where this series is going and how it's going to pan out. Chapter 8 was kind of like him coming to terms with that in a way. Chapter 9 basically led on from it, with Sasaki he seems to have found a resolve, but it's not like a shonen character with resolve where it's I'm going to train, and he is going to try his hardest, but it seems to be more unhealthy. The whole biting his finger till it bleeds thing at the end kind of gave me a thing of he's really trying, but that's not good. And then straight up, our fears are kind of fears are kind of confirmed because the first panel we get of him in the new chapter is he's not looking too great, he's not looking too hot, it looks almost completely different, all the black bags under his eyes and everything, and he's not looking good. To be honest, it was kind of sad to see, because he's obviously working hard, but there's a difference, as everyone knows, I'm sure, in their heads anyway, that there's a difference between overworking and working hard. And unfortunately, sometimes for people, it doesn't, like Sasaki, that doesn't come into their head when they're when they're so focused on something like this, where it's so important and they're so stressed because it's their responsibility. But yeah, some of the beginning of the chapter, a lot of the beginning was basically Sasaki confirming that the messages from the future are in fact coming true. So like the lottery numbers. He also obviously Aino getting her manga confirmed, and starting to write her manga. That eventually gets confirmed by the end of the chapter. The Anima, I believe it was called. But yeah, so basically confirming that in fact that the microwave is not a lie. We also find out about midway through the chapter about his old mentor, Nanashino. And he's actually a big hit manga with his series Vitamin Man, I believe it was called. So I hope he comes back into the story. Maybe gives Sasaki some wisdom, or maybe he'll be like, maybe he'll be a dick, who knows? So maybe he'll just be an absolute dick to him. Unfortunately, near the end of the chapter, we do see Sasaki start to hallucinate a bit and start like his doubts creeping in and almost in his mind taking physical form. I felt really bad for Sasaki in this section. However, I do want to say that I really did enjoy this part because I found it to be very real, like a very real reaction. Maybe not as dramatic as literally like seeing almost someone else there. Although I imagine if you're stressed, tired, hallucinations are a thing. So maybe that is a bit real. But obviously, he acts very what's the word? He reacts very anime in terms of like very dramatic, like jumping out his chair and stuff. But it's very real in terms of like when you're so stressed and you're so focused on something, you have so much responsibility. The doubts can really start creeping in, and at times when you let them in, it really overwhelms you. And that's what I think we're seeing with Sasaki. And I think the way they portrayed it in those pages was really cool. Again, art was on point, and even the dialogue, everything I thought was really good. Although it was I found it very strange how, so he had that kind of deep, kind of his doubts creeping in, and then by the end he kind of gets like not another resolve, it's the same resolve, but he basically says, no, I have to win, like very shonen-esque, like I have to win, like kind of like how he said about Aino in like, I think it was chapter 3 or something, where he's like, damn, that was like a shonen jump hero line or something. He's saying those kind of things, and while he kind of looks like, because of how bright it is, which is when Aino's there and he shakes her hand, he kind of looks the most healthy, I suppose, the healthiest he's looked. However, which I found strange because he's not, but then I suppose that's what the handshake was meant to represent, was her hand being obviously very clean and, and then his hand being all bandaged up and like, covered in ink and whatnot, maybe blood. But yeah, and then even the bit with Aino declaring like the game's on, it was all very shonen-esque, that end bit of the chapter, that last 2 pages. But I don't see it being as like, that's it now for Sasaki, oh, he's overcome his doubts. I do not believe that. I would be very shocked if that's the case. I think like everyone would be, to be honest. I'm not saying like this is me thinking. I think this is generally like, I think now that the game is on, as Aino said, I think we're going to continuously see the stress pile on Sasaki. I think it's going to keep piling on, and I think it could get worse and worse for Sasaki for a little while. I'm going to say like my thoughts for like my predictions for the future. I don't usually like it because I'm not the greatest at it, and like it's not like I've scoured each page of each chapter for like hours. But again, as I was like going on what I was saying before about his condition getting worse and worse, because I've seen it you kind of seen it in other series a little bit. I kind of feel like we are going to get maybe a couple of chapters in that of like him really trying, maybe him getting a bit of success, but then falling inevitably, and then I think it's going to kind of eventually send him to like him getting more and more unhealthy, and then something bad happening basically. Maybe he gets like sent to hospital because of saying like he passes out or some shit. But and then I'm hoping like it's then like while he's in the hospital and stuff that he kind of realizes himself that he needs to like overworking and overstressing yourself out with the responsibilities and everything isn't going to help like anyone, and certainly isn't going to help him in his aim of becoming a better manga creator. Whether it's himself that gives him that, but I think it will be either Aino, obviously like going there, her seeing him worried, him seeing her worried about him, and she says something like there that kind of spurs him on, and maybe in a way like motivates him and calms him down a bit, Or maybe it'll be his mentor that they mentioned in this chapter, Nanashino. Maybe he'll come and see him and give him some words of wisdom that will motivate him straight back up again. And maybe it will like link back to when he used to be his what they called assistant. Or maybe this is a bit of a stretch and a bit of a theory, but it's not really got a lot of groundwork. Maybe because it's mainly because they mentioned not just Nanashino, but his new series, not his new series, but his series Vitamin Man. Maybe he'll visit him in the hospital, and we'll find out that Nanashino in fact got the same thing as Sasaki, so he has a way of getting the jump books from the future, and that's how he came up with his hit series Vitamin Man, since they focused on that in this chapter. Again, that hasn't really got any legs to stand on yet. I mean, we haven't even met Nanashino, and it's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, maybe it's a route they could go down. That's kind of one of the first things that I thought when I saw it. But yeah, overall, I'd say that this chapter was like, it kind of had ups and downs to me. Like I said, I liked the last 2 pages, but I thought it could have been, I don't know, I liked the pages before that. I would have, like I said, I don't think after those 2 pages of like shonen-esque bright light, like I don't think he's gonna come back and be like, oh, now he's just fine, like no doubts in his mind. I think like we're gonna get it for a few more chapters, so I would have rather it kind of ended when it was kind of more dark and real. But still a good chapter. I'm gonna give it about 7.5 out of 10. I feel like it's too harsh to give it a 7, but maybe 8 is a bit too good, since half the chapter was just confirming that it actually works on microwave, which to be fair, as the readers, we all knew in the first place anyway. Let's be fair. So yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. I really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying the series so far. Like I said, like from the first, every chapter has gradually like got better. Well, maybe the peak was chapter 7 for me. That was like the biggest reaction I got, and chapter 8 and 9 have been the kind of him, how it's affected him after that. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. I think the series is really good so far. I'll definitely try and keep reviewing it on this channel. If you enjoyed this review, or you have your own thoughts if you have your own thoughts on the series, I'd love to hear, because I haven't really seen many. I've seen a couple, but not really a lot of people talking about it on social media and stuff. Like I'm on Twitter and things, I don't really see a lot of people talking about it, which I think is unfortunate, because I think it could be a really good series now. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please drop a like and leave a comment on your reactions or your thoughts on this chapter and on the series in general. I'd love to see what people actually think, like whether they think, oh, they're still not completely hooked, or they think that it's going to be amazing, or their own theories, kind of like my one on Nanashino. But yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed, please like. If you want to keep up to date with our latest reviews, please subscribe. We've been doing God of High School, Decadence, Rent a Girlfriend reactions, and we'll probably do reviews of the whole series once they're done. And we'll do more manga reviews. We was going to do more this week, but the problem, like, because all of us basically read One Piece, My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, but unfortunately, like, there was a lot of breaks last week, and the only person that Jujutsu Kaisen, we could have reviewed the latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, but we decided to wait till next week, where we're gonna do them all then. But yeah, from next week we're going to be reviewing the latest chapters. I'll probably put another one of these up, definitely, for chapter 10, because I'm really invested in the story now, and Sasaki and Aino. I think my favourite character so far is Aino. I really do like her. I think she's pretty sick. But I think Sasaki is getting there now. Like, last few chapters, he's kind of grew on me. Like I said, I like how human they've made him and how real he is. But yeah, again, I'm venting on, but please, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, give me your thoughts in the comments. Please check out our other videos if you're into those other series I mentioned before. We make reactions on it, and we will be uploading our podcast every week, hopefully, maybe fortnightly, depending on like what times we can get around to setting it up. Like we can all get together and things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and please, I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.